So chances are you've already probably beaten Doors Floor 2, especially since it has been out for quite a bit at this point. And if you haven't yet, good luck to you. But today we are able to dive deeper within the game's models thanks to a bunch of Roblox Doors hackers who are brave enough to explore around the outer bounds of the game and were able to gather some truly unique stuff. These are 7 things you've never seen in Doors Floor 2. Comment which one was the most interesting, and you better like and subscribe or else there will not be a Floor 3. Number 1, Hidden Gold. You know what's funny? Doors Floor 1 has a ton of gold now, as you can literally get stacks upon stacks of knobs every run now, compared to Floor 2 of the mines, where there's literally not much at all from the valuable resource. Where could all the gold have gone? Well, hackers have been able to use free roam cam in order to dive deep within the scenes of the game, and at the ending cutscene within the castle model, they were able to find a giant block of gold hiding within the staircase of the castle. What? What the heck is this gold block doing within the castle? Was this why the mine was created, in order to find this one giant chunk of gold? Some players have speculated that it could mean we may have some golden walled rooms within the castle, although that could be true if they did have a treasure room. We'll have to wait for Floor 3 in order to really confirm that. Number 2, Strange Block. We've mentioned about this particular glitch several times, but most of you probably have seen this random floating brown block that occasionally softlocks players from continuing on to further rooms within the mines. But with the free roam camera mode, we are able to dive into this block to see what is really going on. Instantly when hearing this clip, you can notice that it is playing Dupe's sound effect within the mysterious brown slime block. And at the first frame, you are able to see 2 very interesting low poly models, which appears to be arms being stuck into the air. Could this be Dupe's hands when the entity tries to grab you when falling for the incorrect room? This must be their idle position then, as they wait for any trespassers to get by. The hacker then decides to go inside the brown slimy block in order to reveal something truly unique. It's a bit difficult to see directly inside of the block, but we can see a bunch of weirdly stacked models within each other as they are, no joke, floating around inside. It definitely sounds weird saying this, but I think the hacker actually went inside the Dupe entity's mechanics and possibly inside the entity's body as well. It's totally something I've never seen before myself, and I bet you haven't either, but it does explain all the brown glitching blocks people are experiencing, as it may just be Dupe breaking and generating at the incorrect spot. Fun fact, you can also run into this if you crucify Dupe, though you won't be able to see it with him currently inside. Number 3, Vine Arm. Yes, we've explained and gone over this strange vine structure which is holding this light post many times, but rather than just looking at it from the mine's perspective, a hacker was actually able to fly inside the drained sewage in order to uncover the direct model itself and a glimpse of what it could look like above the mines as well. I'm actually really surprised with how long this vine really is. Though it does look very manly and powerful at the bottom, at the top it's actually very skinny, capable of reaching tight crevices. The top of the storm drain still doesn't reveal the entity, as the model simply stops from that point, so we still don't really have an answer whether or not this could be a new entity in the future. Number 4, Door 201. Yeah, I'm not kidding. You guys remember over a year ago when we were able to find Door 101 outside the playable zone for Floor 1? Well, something similar is happening, but this time it's for Door 201. From within the supposed castle of Floor 3, and no, we're not talking about fake Dupe doors that could happen inside of the mines. Hackers were able to fly all the way up to the skybox within the ending of Floor 2 in order to find this metal door simply labeled 201. Now, as you'd expect, nothing really happens if you do get up to this door somehow, as it has not been programmed to do so. I'd imagine it was simply added in as an asset to make sure doors within the game are opening up as intended. The developers will change the design of this door, as it's basically the same exact doors as we've seen from the mines. Number 5, Behind Jeff. You're not going to believe this one, but everyone knows Jeff, the friendly entity that runs the shop just past doors 50 and 150. The developers did a really great job with revamping the entity, and now he gets really happy when you decide to tip his jar at the shop. But where exactly does all that gold go? Does it get filled up behind the shop eventually? Well, some Doors hackers was able to solve this once and for all. As we can see, we still cannot see a real model of Jeff, as the lighting has been put pitch black to prevent the entity's true identity. But behind the shop model, we can notice a single gold coin that sits outside the playable area. This is presumably where the entity puts all their gold coins after completely maxing out the tip jar. Not going to lie, I was a bit disappointed to not see a giant room filled with gold coins, but bro is saving up for college after all. Number 6, Castle Meat. This one is another crazy one, especially if you understand quite a bit of lore within Roblox Doors. Now, hear me out. Have you noticed the festering meat piles that are around the hotel post door 50? And also within the mines as well? They usually only show up whenever the figure is around, and it has been agreed that these may be droppings by the figure entity. And well, guess what? A hacker was able to get behind the final door to the castle, and we can notice a giant pile of festering meat right inside of the doorway. You know what that means, right? This is a big reference for the figure entity, and there is a big possibility that the entity will come to floor 3 within the castle. But it does bring up another question to the table. How the heck is Figure going to get out of the mines and get to the castle? The world may never know. Number 7, Alternative Endings. What if I told you that it's actually possible to get an alternative ending to floor 2, especially one of which that may have completely changed the lore for the player experiencing it? Yeah, it's pretty wild, but first one of the hackers was able to move the camera at a special position in order to record and capture the ending cutscene of floor 2 from behind, which offers a new and unique twist. We can also notice the backside of the Queen Grumble is actually already infected with group before the entity rises up for the cutscene. Another interesting alternative ending was that a player who was lagging severely was able to spawn in the cutscene, but Sieg never actually showed up to infect the Queen, with the game simply titling it to be continued, with the Queen still alive. But it is ironic to see that happen. Which one did you think was the craziest? Like and subscribe for more, and take care.